we're in our kitchens a lot, right?
Yep.
We're in
every day.
I mean, if you take as long to get ready as I do, we're in our bathrooms a lot, right? So it's like you want things to make sense.
Yep.
So it's good to have someone like you to make it make sense for us. Hey guys, it's me, Rachel, and welcome back to the Smart Move podcast, a place where I am giving you the most information you need to become an informed buyer, seller, or investor. Today, we are getting all of your design and decor questions answered with our special guest, Christie Martin, an interior designer from the Wright Kitchen in Ancaster. Welcome, Christie.
Thanks for having me.
Yay. So I guess pretty much what we do here, we want to know who you are, what you're about, what do you do? So obviously you're Christie Martin.
Yes.
What exactly do you do at the Wright Kitchen? Where did you get started? What was your education to get where you are?
Okay, so I graduated, I went to college right out of high school. I went to Mohawk for architectural technology.
Oh, fun.
And then while doing that, I decided I really wanted to get into interior design.
Okay.
So I went to Sheridan for 3 years and studied interior design and got my diploma there. So graduated in 2009. So really, I've been working in the design and construction industry since 2009. Pretty much right after I got out of college.
Nice.
And I've worked, with builders, I've worked with interior designers, I worked with an architectural technologist.
Yeah.
So I've kind of worked throughout the industry and really, found where my passion was in design. Design is so broad, but I always wanted to be an architect. I loved space planning. So what I found that I really enjoyed the most was when I was doing custom cabinetry design. So custom millwork design, just being creative. And I found that was really a great outlet for that. So I landed at the Wright Kitchen.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you're doing all of the design for their kitchens there. Do you do stuff like bathrooms as well, laundry, stuff like that? Just all cabinetry?
Yeah.
Okay.
So we do custom cabinetry. So whole home custom cabinetry.
Yeah.
So mainly kitchens, obviously lots of kitchens for clients. We do lots of laundry rooms, mud rooms, any sort of cabinetry in the home that's custom. Yeah. We do that. So vanities, built-ins around fireplace. So that's what I do at the Wright Kitchen. I get to work with my clients on designs for their whole home.
That is so fun. I love that. That's really cool. I have always taken an interest in interior design, and I don't know, like Marcy may have mentioned, we've, also Christie is Marcy's sister, FYI guys. But yeah, we just did our own addition and reno and stuff. And we had a kitchen company come in there. But yeah, it's a lot of even just where you guys place things to make it make sense.
Yeah.
Right? There's actually a lot that goes into millwork, 100%. Into the cabinetry design.
100%. Yeah. And I have a lot of clients that come in at different stages in the renovation. Some come in and they've already gutted their entire kitchen and they're looking for cabinets right away and don't realize, there is quite a bit of planning that goes into this.
Yeah.
But then I have clients that come in with blueprints for, new build or additions where they haven't even started yet. So, I prefer working obviously with those types of clients. I love working with all of them.
Sure.
There's challenges with every project, but if I can look at, the blueprints and help them lay it out, the architect or the technologist that has laid those out, may not know exactly where to place the fridge specifically, or in the island they want a sink, and so I can go in and kind of look at it and get a little bit more in detail and specialize with the homeowners to customize it to the way it needs to be, and at that point things can shift, like windows or walls if we need to make the space right for the client.
I need to ask you. So I had always thought there was, what is it? Is it the triangle rule?
Yes.
Is that still a thing?
It is a thing, but in most cases I don't know, like when I'm designing, I just sort of the way it flows in my sense, like in my mind, it's not necessarily always a triangle or it's an elongated triangle. I try not to, when there's islands and spaces, I try not to put, a fridge on one side, the sink on the other. You don't want to make a big passageway around, but sometimes you're stuck and you kind of have to lay it out, or the client wants it one way. Yeah. But the triangle is kind of like a general,
and explain for maybe people that don't quite know what I'm sure you can figure it out.
But
what is the working triangle?
So in a kitchen, it's basically the placement of where the fridge, stove, and the sink are. Yeah. So just, keeping within a triangle, you don't want too big of a stretch so that it's a stretch to walk from one to the other. So kind of keeping that shape is generally what that means.
The rule.
Yeah.
I like it. It's funny, again, doing our own stuff. It was kind of that same thing. Okay, you've got the triangle, you got to think about that. And I'm like, but actually I want my stove over here.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's going to, so it is like, it's funny that all these inner workings, they seem so minuscule, but they are a big deal because especially, I'm sure you see this too for your clients. We're in our kitchens a lot, right?
Yep.
We're in
every day.
I mean, if you take as long to get ready as I do, we're in our bathrooms a lot, right? So it's like you want things to make sense.
Yep.
So it's good to have someone like you to make it make sense for us. Because if it was just a random person that has no experience, then it could end up being something they don't like. And when you're spending that much money,
you want to want to work with someone that knows what they're doing. I've been doing this for a while and I do enjoy it. I love the big spaces that I design, but I also love the small kitchens. There's challenges in trying to make it work with the client's wish list and all the items they want to include in that space, but it is a tight space. And I love, like, obviously when clients really do appreciate my expertise. I do have some that come in and know exactly what they want, and that's great. I love collaborating with them, but I do like to be able to showcase like my talent and my design and my expertise to my clients and my knowledge too. So
you've done this. I mean, you've
done
been doing
so
this
many
for
times.
About 15 years.
Exactly.
And you've got the credentials for it. What would you say? Well, and I do want to talk about a bit of the challenges that you might face, but first I want to say or ask what your accomplishments, like what would you be most proud of? It can be a certain project that you were, or maybe even just something in your career, but what is an accomplishment that you would say you're really proud of in the past 15 years that you've been doing this?
Yeah, I mean, I think graduating from 2 different colleges is a huge accomplishment, and getting educational background. That's a big accomplishment. And obviously where I'm at in my career now, I've been with the Wright Kitchen for 8 years and I'm very, very happy there. There's flexibility. It works for my life. Yeah. I have a young son, so obviously, just that's a big accomplishment too. Yeah. Just raising him and being able to balance that work life.
Big time.
Those
are good.
Yeah.
Personal. Yeah, those are good.
They're personal, right?
Yeah. I think that's important though. Like it's not always, and that's what I love doing. Like with this podcast, it's like you can see the side of the personal, but there's also the business. But it's good to get to know the actual person behind the microphone, so I can appreciate that. What are some goals that you have for the future? Maybe let's go a little more specific. But let's say on like a project, what would be like something you would love to see yourself do within the industry? Yeah.
So like obviously being a designer, I love design. My husband and I, we've renovated our home multiple times. We love where we live. We love our neighborhood. We don't want to move. Right. But I would love to do like a flip or build a home or a cottage. Yeah. So I feel like that, obviously, like that's our goal to get to that point where we can do another big project together and not have to move. But that, or, I've always thought owning like a small shop, it's just, I feel like it's a dream for a lot of people, but I feel like owning a small shop, selling local products, or like a coffee bar. I don't know.
I like that. Let's get into business
together. Or an Airbnb. Like there's tons of different
there's so many
things that
things
I have in my mind.
I know, right?
All design related at the end of the day. I feel like that's just my passion, and it does go back to like my personal life a lot too.
I love that though. Yeah, and those are good things. And we all need to have goals, whether they're going to be the ones we attain or not, right?
Yeah, exactly.
I've had some people ask me, because we did reach out to our followers to see if they had some questions for our guests today. And one of them is, what are some of the top kitchen colors?
Okay.
And then also kitchen trends. And we don't have to, I would say maybe not even just kitchen, just cabinet.
In general.
Or
Yeah,
in general.
like cabinetry.
Yeah. So what are some of the top kitchen colors and trends that you have seen lately?
Okay.
And what should we look for in 2024? Because that's what people really want to know.
What they want to hear about. So, a lot of my clients, obviously, like all white kitchens are still very classic, very popular. A lot of people want those, want to go in that direction.
Are we going like stark white still, or is it?
No, like the number one white I would say that I see the most of is like Chantilly lace, which is a Benjamin Moore color. Yeah. But if clients are, willing to veer a little bit more trendy, right now, like I would say warmer, earthier tones, like muted tones, like warmer, putty, just earthier outdoors, just warmer tones.
Like greens.
Yeah,
and is that still big? I saw something with like a blue kitchen. I was like, cool. Not for me. I'm the most basic.
You can do it.
In the world.
No, like they're still light colors, but just a little warmer. Bringing the outdoors in, and then in addition to that, like bold colors. Yeah. So navy, dark green, black. Those are definitely trendy. If, I've had a few clients that want to go those routes. So it's always fun when that happens.
Totally.
But not everybody, wants to play that.
No.
And
it would be fun.
Prefer to keep it more classic. Yeah. But
it would be fun to see like when someone does something totally out of the blue and like a little out of the box that we normally do, right? Like my kitchen, even though it's stunning and I'm really happy, it's like, what did we do? We did creamy white.
Okay.
So it's like a little more creamy, not white, but then, you've got like the brass and
all those
the Studio McGee,
like
which I love. But to do something really bold would be really neat as well. It's just it's not for me.
It's nice in like small areas, like powder rooms, mud rooms, laundry rooms. I've had clients do the darker colors, the moodier colors, which is great. For a small space, even it works.
Yes.
In areas that aren't, the kitchen is the first area you usually see. So keeping it a little more classic for most people, that works best.
I think it's also a matter of like kitchens are so bloody expensive.
Yes, that is also the thing
So I'm
too.
thinking, you want this thing to last for, I don't know, 50, what's standard? We sell our houses too quickly for me to get sick of it. But
I don't know,
like what, 15, 20 years?
Like maybe 20 years or so. Yeah.
So I find like if I was to do a green kitchen, that would be great for a few years, but then
you get tired of it.
And I'd want to reno, and Jeff would say absolutely not.
Yes. You don't want to get bored of a color like that, especially in a big, and you want the cabinetry is the main thing. It needs to last, and you don't want to have to change the color.
What are some cool features in a kitchen in terms of like different types of cabinetry that you can get, not like style, but the gadgets that you can have nowadays? Like what would be your favorite ones? There's so much cool stuff out there.
There's a lot. And I've definitely like done my fair share, and I have a lot of clients that always bring in crazy ideas for things that they want. I love appliance garages. So just, keeping the kitchen minimalistic now, clutter-free is really, a big thing. Yeah. So appliance garages, paneled appliances, just so that it, that cohesive look. You don't see all the stainless steel. Corner solutions. So what I mean by like the blind corners you get in your cabinets, the upper corners, the base corners. There's lots of really cool like pull-out accessories that I love in those corners. Recycling centers, pantries with rollouts. So lots of fun things in that sense. But
what's your favorite?
I would say, I don't know. The corner solutions are really fun. I love appliance garages, just keeping things kind of concealed. They can work as coffee bars, breakfast bars. Like they're not just for all the appliances to stay off the counter. They can be a feature point still too. Yeah. Yeah.
If there's one thing I regret not putting in mine is the paper towel holder thing under the counter.
Okay. I've done that a few times.
Oh,
just to get it off the counter.
Like,
It's a good solution. It's definitely a good solution.
It truly is. Like if I was to do it again, which I will in due time, that sucker's coming in. I say it every time. I'm like, why didn't we put that in here? That's so smart. Yeah. Oh, well, next house.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, so here's another question from one of our guests or one of our followers. What other projects, we did kind of touch on this a bit. Okay. What other projects do you work on other than kitchens? So you did say laundry room.
Yeah. Laundry rooms, a lot of laundry rooms, mud rooms, bathrooms like vanities, or linens in the bathrooms, basement bars.
Okay.
Fireplace built in. So a lot of fireplaces, clients want cabinetry storage on either side or open shelving. Yep. So lots of that. Okay. A lot of like butler's pantries, walk-in pantries off the kitchen. That's a big thing now too. Yes. A lot of people are trying to design those into the space as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's okay. And I guess then this is maybe me being a little ignorant to what the Wright Kitchen totally does, but will they take a full basement reno, or you're just strictly doing the cabinetry?
So we strictly do the cabinetry. Okay. So supply install of all cabinetry. Yeah. So obviously, working with clients from the design phase to installation and completion. Okay. We have suppliers that we recommend for countertops and general contractors. So a lot of clients in most cases need a general contractor to prepare spaces. Yes. If it's a new build, they're probably already working with someone. If it's a small kitchen renovation, they may know a contractor that they've already worked with, or they may ask us for a recommendation. So we do partner with some local contractors that we have experience working with and set the clients up with those contractors. And then they kind of have their contract with them. And then we would be just strictly custom cabinetry portion. Yep.
Would you say, how do I phrase this? This is kind of, so what would be the price range? Yeah, I don't even know how to price range kind of say from a small project. So like you had said, and we'll touch on the challenges still, the price range from like a small kitchen reno to like, what's kind of our base price? Is that even a thing?
I mean, it really sort of depends on the scope of the renovation too. And a very if you're doing a kitchen renovation, there's no walls coming down, the flooring is remaining the same. Appliances aren't being moved around too much, keeping the existing blueprint of the space for the most part, but updating all the cabinetry. That would probably be the most obviously cost-effective kitchen renovation. Okay. And you're probably running, cabinetry, countertops, installation, you may be somewhere between like 35 to 40,000. Okay. Yeah. You have to keep in mind appliances, plumbing fixtures, sinks and faucets, depending on how many. Yeah. So handles, we do include handles like hardware. Yeah. So that's included with our scope. Yeah. But there's a lot of things that client, backsplash tile, lighting, bringing in a small renovation like that, still an electrician may be required to be brought in, a plumber to disconnect. So there are so many steps and stages still in a very basic kitchen renovation. Yeah. But I would say like on the low end, like cabinetry plus, bringing in those trades, you could be running still like 55 plus for like a very small kitchen renovation.
It's pretty crazy.
It is.
I know. It's funny because, I'm sure you've heard this from Marcy as well, as like you get these clients and they're like, okay, we're going to do a kitchen reno and like 10, 15,000. I'm like, whoa.
Yeah, I know.
Maybe in 1993.
Exactly. You want to make it work for the clients and their budget. And with us, like obviously we've got lots of product offerings to sort of meet different budgets.
For sure.
So
absolutely.
We can always suggest, and I'm always happy to, help clients try to, I know what will bring down costs, so I'm always happy to help clients get there. Yeah. But
it's also something to be realistic.
They need to be realistic, and it's nice when clients do come in and they are educated and they understand 100%.
And now they'll be even more educated because here we are just giving all the information to you guys for free. I'm not even going to charge you. What is your most valuable resource or piece of advice that you could give to a client right now? our viewers, listeners?
Yeah, I would say that definitely like doing your research, hiring or looking into multiple contractors. So most of the clients that I work with hire contractors, general contractors for their projects, even hiring us. I've had lots of clients that bring in multiple quotes for cabinetry. So definitely just doing your research, getting multiple quotes, educating yourself. It is a big renovation, and just knowing all the details and what goes into it is definitely, the advice that I would give and recommend to my clients.
Okay. In terms of like research, like where are we starting? Are we going on to Pinterest, or are we like, where are we getting that research other than
definitely
Google?
Probably not Pinterest, but online.
Okay,
a lot is online. There are trade shows. So clients, homeowners go out and meet different contractors that way. But online, reading reviews, like finding websites. Everybody finds things online now. So just finding companies that have good reviews on different platforms is definitely a great way to like do your research and starting. And I definitely encourage my clients to read our reviews and read contractors' reviews and bring in multiple contractors to feel out different personalities.
Big time. I think that
word of mouth too.
Yeah.
Like, with your friends and family, just connecting and who they've worked with too.
Yeah,
that's
and have
a referral.
had a good experience.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I like that. So we kind of wrap up the episode now. Is there anything that you would want to touch on still for people that maybe I haven't touched on here, but something that you would want our listeners and viewers to hear about what you do,
I feel like we've got a good scope of that.
I told you it goes fast.
Yeah, it does go fast. Yeah, I don't know that I have too much else to bring to the table right now.
No, I think what we've covered on, obviously, we've got some really good design tips, some trends and colors and that stuff we've hit on. And then obviously, I think the biggest thing is just keeping that realistic sense of going into, because we're always, as an agent, I'm always going into a home and saying, okay, this is going to cost you this much, right? So knowing what a base kitchen kind of is going to cost, or a base bathroom, like this is where we're starting with your cabinetry, and then from there working on all the other things you need. So I think that's really important. So we always end off our podcast with 2 questions.
Okay.
They're the same this year. I didn't switch them up. I was thinking about it, but I didn't. I got lazy. So we're going to ask you, what is something that you are loving right now? Whether it's a business thing, personal, it can be a TV show, a book, a podcast, like the Smart Move podcast.
Yeah, exactly.
That's Owen's favorite thing.
I would say, reality TV is definitely something. Like Love is Blind.
I love it.
The Housewives
of
Beverly Hills. So binging those, which is really sad but enjoyable. I should be doing something better with my time in the evenings. We all
should be, I know.
But that is definitely, so reality TV.
You're a reality.
I love that. Yeah.
This is not reality TV, but just because it's TV and I have a chance to talk about something I love right now. Yeah. The show, One Day.
One Day.
Have you seen it? It's like a limited. Okay.
Is it on Netflix?
You will binge it.
One day.
I'll
put that on my list.
So good. I cried. It was an emotional roller coaster. Okay. It's not quite reality television, but if you need a good show.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. So our final question is, if you could have dinner with anyone, dead or alive, who would it be and why?
Okay. I'm probably going to get a few laughs.
Okay.
Yeah, I know. I don't want to. I know. I debated that. Yeah. Do I want to go sappy?
Most of the time I end up crying.
You won't. I don't think you'll cry. But I've always, Jillian Harris.
Yes.
Do you know who Jillian Harris is?
Yeah.
I've always really liked her and found her very interesting. And, I followed along when she did Bachelorette and Love It or List It.
Oh, yeah, right.
So I love that one, obviously, as a designer. Yeah, she brands herself really well. Yes. She's just very interesting. I've definitely fallen for a lot of her influences.
Yeah, you've been influenced by her.
I've
I think
definitely
we
been
all
influenced.
have.
Yeah. So I do really like her. I think she's really interesting. She'd be fun probably to, sit down and have dinner with, have a drink with.
Yes.
I think, I don't know. That's who just automatically came to my mind. So
I love that. No, that is that's a great answer.
I
would also have dinner with Jillian.
Yeah.
So Jillian, if you're watching.
Yeah. Come have dinner with us.
Come have dinner with us. Absolutely. We will welcome you.
For sure. 100%.
Christie, that was so much fun. Thank you so much for coming and joining us. It was not as bad, right?
No.
I know. And it was, I think our viewers and our listeners are going to be really excited for this episode as well. As usual, if you want more, follow the Smart Move podcast on Instagram, on our YouTube. You can follow me at Rachel in Real Estate. Christie, where can we find you?
So I'm on Instagram.
Okay.
So Christie, it's I guess like the hand. Yeah. It's
the
Christie.
handle.
I can't even remember what it is now.
You know
Christie
what?
I think it's Christie. Yeah.
We'll put it here. It's Christie something.
At the Wright Kitchen.
Yeah. And then the website for the Wright Kitchen is just the Wright Kitchen.
Yeah. TheWrightKitchen.com.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
Enjoy your day still, guys.
Thank you.
We'll see you next time.